Ancient Egyptians have always been considered one of the healthiest cultures in the world. They had a very simple lifestyle and ate a balanced diet that was full of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Their diet was also rich in fish and other seafood. However, there are some things about their lifestyle that have raised eyebrows among modern-day experts. For example, they were the first people to use embalming fluid, and they practiced mummification. These practices may have contributed to their long lifespan and healthy bodies. On the other hand, their diet may have also contributed to their high rates of heart disease and other chronic diseases. So, does the ancient Egyptian lifestyle have any benefits that outweigh the risks? The ancient Egyptians are often considered to be some of the healthiest people of all time. While their lifestyle and diet may not be suitable for everyone, it is still interesting to explore their habits and see if there is anything we can learn that can help us live a healthier life. One of the main things that the Egyptians seem to have done well was to maintain a balance between their physical and mental health. They were aware of the importance of exercise and relaxation and did not expect too much from their mental health. They believed that it was just as important to have a good mental state as it was to have a healthy body. While their diet may not be ideal for everyone, it is still worth considering what they ate and how it may have helped them stay healthy. The Egyptians were a largely agricultural society, and their diet consisted of a lot of bread, beer, vegetables, and fruit. They also ate a lot of meat, but it was mainly beef, lamb, and chicken. While the Egyptians may not be the best example of a healthy diet, their habits and lifestyle are still worth considering. Ancient Egyptian medicine. It's no secret that ancient Egyptians were some of the healthiest people of their time. Their diet, lifestyle, and medical practices were some of the most advanced of their era. However, did their health actually make them immune to diseases that we suffer from today? The answer, unfortunately, is no. While their medical practices were very advanced for their time, they were still susceptible to the same diseases that we are today. For example, they were likely susceptible to cancer, heart disease, and other conditions that plague us today. While their health may have been better than ours, it's important to remember that their methods and practices were quite different from ours. They may have had more knowledge about health and medicine, but they didn't have the technology or knowledge to treat many of the diseases that plague us today. Diet and nutrition in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians were some of the healthiest people of their time. The reason for their good health is still being debated, but some possible explanations include a high intake of fruits and vegetables, a reliance on whole grains and legumes, moderate alcohol consumption, and a lack of processed foods. While their diet may not be to everyone's taste, it is worth noting that their health outcomes were some of the best in the ancient world. Health hazards in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians were some of the healthiest people of their time. They had a very low rate of heart disease and other chronic diseases. However, they also had a high rate of death from accidents and from infections. There are a few reasons for this. First, the Egyptians were very physically active. They played games, worked in the fields, and sailed on the Nile. They also had a high rate of food consumption. They ate a lot of bread, fruits, vegetables, and meat. Second, the Egyptians were very careful about their health. They knew about germs and how to prevent infections. They had vaccines, antibiotics, and potions to treat infections. They also had a very high rate of hygiene. They washed their hands often, avoided contact with sick people, and avoided touching objects that could be contaminated with germs. Although the Egyptians had a high rate of health, they also had a high rate of death from accidents and from infections. However, they were some of the healthiest people of their time. Diseases and illnesses in ancient Egypt. It would be impossible to write an exhaustive article on every disease and illness that plagued ancient Egyptians, as this would require a far greater level of research than is possible in a short blog post. However, some of the more common afflictions include 1. Malaria. This debilitating and often fatal disease was rampant in ancient Egypt and the surrounding areas, and was thought to be caused by a lack of clean water. 2. Typhoid fever. Typhoid fever was also rampant in ancient Egypt and caused a high mortality rate. 3. Pneumonia. Pneumonia was an often fatal disease in ancient Egypt and was caused by a number of factors, including overcrowding and poor ventilation. 4. Diarrhea. Diarrhea was also a common ailment in ancient Egypt and was often caused by a lack of food or water. 5. Eye diseases. Eye diseases were common in ancient Egypt and were caused by a number of factors, including poor hygiene and a lack of sunlight. While there are a number of diseases and illnesses that plagued ancient Egyptians, the ones listed here are some of the more common. It is important to be aware of these afflictions and take the necessary precautions to prevent them from affecting your own health. Death and dying in ancient Egypt. While there are many misconceptions about ancient Egyptians and their health, it's generally agreed that they had some of the best healthcare in the world. The ancient Egyptians had a sophisticated medical system that was based on natural medicine and was very effective in treating many diseases and ailments. For example, the Egyptians knew about the power of herbs and used them to treat a wide range of diseases and conditions. They also knew about the power of acupuncture and used it to treat a variety of ailments. The ancient Egyptians also knew about the power of massage and used it to treat a variety of conditions and injuries. Overall, the ancient Egyptians had a well-rounded medical system that was very effective in treating a wide variety of diseases and ailments. The afterlife in ancient Egypt. As we know, the ancient Egyptians were some of the healthiest people of their time. They had a high life expectancy and did not suffer from chronic diseases like we do today. So what was the secret to their long lifespans? There are a few factors that contributed to the health of the ancient Egyptians. First, they had a balanced diet that included plenty of vegetables, grains, and meat. They also had a good amount of exercise and avoided smoking and alcohol. However, there was one factor that was especially important to their health: their belief in the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that after they died, they would be reunited with their families and would live again. This belief gave them hope and helped them to live a healthy lifestyle in the present. Ancient Egyptians are a fascinating people, and their history is full of many mysteries. However, their health may surprise you. A study comparing the health of ancient Egyptians to modern-day Egyptians found that the ancient Egyptians were, on average, much healthier. They had lower rates of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and some types of cancer. While their diet may not be as varied as ours, they did eat a lot of whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Their lack of obesity may also be due to the fact that they didn't have access to processed foods or sugary drinks. While their health may have been excellent, it's important to remember that their lifestyle and diet may not be suitable for everyone. If you're looking to improve your health, try following their diet and lifestyle recommendations.